So, we got some information. How, why, yeah, let's talk about it. So, Ari, talked about him before, he is an NFL insider, went ahead and explained on his podcast why Jamarr Chase's contract did not get done with the Bengals before the season kicked off, and why he will be under, still 2 years left on his contract going into this season. And the reason why? Because they couldn't bridge the gap. Okay, now let's go farther into that. He said they tried Friday night. They even tried Saturday into Saturday night. They continued into Sunday morning, actually. So they continued working on this contract all the way until pretty much kickoff. Which is funny because of the fact that the whole T. Higgins situation, they haven't talked to him about it or worked with him on a new contract since last March. Dang. T is getting fluffed. They could not bridge the gap. It just was not happening. Which is kind of what I've been saying, what I kind of expected, was that Jamarr has a value that he wants, okay? He has a number he wants in his head. The Bengals have a number they want in their head. And no matter what happens, they can't get to those numbers for both sides. And that's really what the problem will forever be. Until one side caves in and gives up and just accepts it, it's going to forever be that back and forth. No, I see myself at this value. And then the other side's like, hey, I see you at this value. And until those sides give up or someone gives, it's just never going to happen. Which, again, kind of going to be interesting to see how next year goes. He said there were numbers they couldn't figure out. There was cash flow issue. There was a problem issue. The APY, which is average per year, was fine. It would have surpassed Justin Jefferson, but everything else was not there. So, okay, hold up. So cash flow is coming down to more than just Jamarr Chase. This is coming down to the team's cash flow and figuring out numbers there. That's interesting. Because average per year was fine. It was going to be more than Jamarr Chase. I mean, more than Justin Jefferson. So, the average per year that, I guess, in theory, they have agreed on at this point. Because, again, they have not agreed on the contract. But the average per year, it looks like that is kind of set in stone, at least. They just got to work on the cash flow and get that figured out. But if it's more than Justin Jefferson, that's insane. I wonder how much more. Because Chase has already came out and said that, he's not looking to just beat Justin Jefferson's contract by 1 penny, as some people reported. He's looking to beat it by multiple million, right? So he wants, as he said, he wants to kick the crap out of his contract. So if that's the case, if this number is above Justin Jefferson's per year, average per year, which Justin is 35, then that probably means this is 37, 38, 39, and it could have been 40. It's just the cash flow, getting that figured out with the signing bonus and putting money in escrow and pushing it toward the future. So that's kind of reassuring, I guess. But it's also kind of weird because it seems like they could have gotten the contract done, or they wanted to and they actually, it was going to get done. Kind of like what Chad Johnson said in a way, is that it was going to get done, but it really came down to more of a logistical problem rather than a back and forth value problem. Again, based on how I understand this, is it's more of a logistical issue rather than an issue of, hey, I'm worth A, I'm worth X, and then the other team says, hey, no, you're worth Y to me, right? So actually the opposite of what I thought. It's not really based on what this is saying. It's not based on, it's not clear cut of, hey, I want this number, you want this number. it's really more just a logistical problem, which that's kind of the thing where that can get figured out next year. So it's not really that crazy. He noted that average annual numbers on the proposed deal were in the 36 million range, and speculated the number could climb to 40 by this time next year. Yeah, the price tag will go to 40 next year. It's only going to go up. That's just how, you know, these deals work. You sign a player sooner, you pay less. You sign a player later, you pay more. That's just how it always goes. Also important to notice that the detail is that Justin Jefferson went through the exact same thing with the Vikings last year before getting his market resetting contract this offseason. Okay. While we may never get more info into this, it's notable that Chase and his reps were frustrated with how the Bengals go about extension talks. Again, this whole situation now is, I'm just kind of just over it, but I'm more accepting of like reading more into this, because now that we're into the season, Chase did play, Chase is processing, you know, it is what it is. But the situation where he claims now that the Bengals are the one who offered him a contract, there was nothing on his side that was demanding a contract, and he was fine without getting a new contract. It's a mess. When it comes to the so-called years issue, it wouldn't be surprising to find out that Chase's side wanted roughly 3 years, while the Bengals were pushing for 4. Players want shorter, lucrative deals to get back in ascension sooner as they remain in their prime. Perfectly understandable, while teams want more control. Oh, okay. So this really doesn't sound like too much of a money issue. This sounds more like a logistical issue, which, okay, I mean, that's see, this whole 3-year contract thing, I forget who it was. Who is the left tackle or right tackle for the Texans? Laremy Tunsil, I believe it is. He's the one who's like doing this every single 3 years. He signs 3-year deals, and it keeps hitting the market and becoming the best tackle available, and then just getting new contracts. It's like an infinite money glitch, pretty much, for offensive linemen and for other positions too. It's not shocked to find the cash flow in years where barriers the two couldn't get past together. So, yeah, it's a logistical issue. It's cash flow and it's years. See, that's the thing, though. Because, listen, at some point, especially in business, at some point, you kind of just come together and you say, okay, we're going to make this work. You want 3 years, I want 4. If I give you 4 years, then I want blank, right? And that's usually how the negotiation works. You say, hey, I want 3-year contract. You want me on a 4-year contract. If I accept the 4, then I want this, this, and this, right? You give a list of things you want on that. So you might say, hey, listen, I want an extra roster bonus. I want, you know, more money here. I want more money there. Like, there's things you can do to kind of work that around. So I'm really, other than, again, putting money into the escrow for the future, man, that's frustrating. But you know what? It is what it is. So here he was getting offered more than Justin Jefferson, and they couldn't get that thing done. Oh, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. I think what really comes down to is he wanted more money up front. I bet he wanted more money up front, and he didn't want to wait. He didn't want to wait for the money. And he also probably wanted way more guarantee than they were willing to give. I guarantee you those are probably also things in there that they aren't saying, but probably are very true. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, guys. I'll see you guys next one. Hoo day!